Hey everyone, it's Mr. French here. Today I'm going to show you how to navigate hypothesis for us to use on our second class discussion. So if you scroll down on the assignment sheet, you'll see this link. Opening this link will take you to this page in hypothesis. So typically I use Safari just because that's just kind of my personal preference. But for this assignment specifically, I highly encourage you to use Chrome, specifically because Hypothesis, which we'll be using this week, utilizes the Chrome extension. And so that is going to be way more user-friendly than trying to do this all on Safari. So if you don't typically use Google Chrome, I would encourage you to use that, at least for this assignment, because it will make things much easier. So the first thing you'll need to do is create a free account. Basically all you'll have to do with that is just some brief information about yourself. It didn't take me to the right screen because I already have an account. But just some brief information about yourself and your email. To finish creating an account, you'll need to confirm your email address, and so if you don't see that within a few minutes or especially a few hours, then make sure you check your spam folder, your junk email, and if you still don't see anything, then definitely reach out to me and we can see if we can get it figured out. But so once you've started to do that, then add Hypothesis to your browser. So again, this is in Chrome. You would click on that Chrome extension, come up and look like this. I already have this on Chrome, so I don't have to do this, but you would just click on this Add to Chrome and then grant any permissions or anything that it's asking you to do. So once you have done that, you will need to add yourself to our class, and so you can do that through this link to join our private class group. If you click on that, that will take you to this page. CIED 1003, Fall 2019, and you can see the three annotations that I've put on the articles that we'll be looking at this week, all just for demonstration purposes. But so to access the three articles that we'll be looking at this week, you can either click on these links that I have provided here in the assignment sheet, or you can click on these URLs. So the Age of Distraction article, you can find at this link, and the others work just the same. So here is what is going to be useful for using the Chrome extension specifically. So you'll see this is what it looks like. It's got this little 1 right next to it and the Hypothesis logo. So that brings up this little thing on the right side of your screen. Click on that, and then it might put you in our group just by default, but if it doesn't, then make sure you click on this, and if it's, for instance, in like public, then we won't be able to see your annotations. So make sure you highlight this or click on this and take yourself to our group so that the annotations that you see or that we see are the ones that you've actually done. And so as you're reading this article, here was my just demo annotation. All I did was took this first sentence, highlighted it, and then put in this is my demo annotation, just kind of for demonstration purposes. So if you're going along and reading, oh, this is a really good quote, or I like this quote, highlight it. Then you'll get this chance to annotate or highlight. For our purposes this week, you'll only get credit for the times that you annotate. If you want to highlight, that's perfectly fine, up to you. But as far as receiving credit for what you do this week, make sure you hit annotate, and then you can type whatever you want to. This is a really great quote. I like it because ... So similar to my expectations for the first discussion that we had that was online, if you just said, this is a really great quote, and just kept it at that, it probably wouldn't receive credit, or at least not full credit. I want you to expound on this a little bit more to give your classmates just more to go on. So this is a more fruitful discussion than just kind of sharing our thoughts. So once you write what you want to write, post that, and then you have just started, you've just added your first annotation. So I'll actually just cancel that so that comes off of there. Okay. And so as far as the scoring and everything goes for this, I know some of you make it a habit of not starting things for this class until later in the week, for like saving it for the weekend or something. And that, while that is usually totally fine with me, that will not work this week, because if you look at the assignment sheet, your assignment is to read each article, annotating throughout with your thoughts, connections, experiences, disagreements, questions, etc. And the posting of your thoughts for all articles is due by Thursday, October 10th this week, by the end of the day. The reason for this is because essentially you need to leave enough time for your classmates to respond to what you're saying, so it's more of a discussion and less of a just kind of ranting on the internet with nobody to respond to you. So yeah, and just like the assignment sheet says, don't worry about having right answers, wrong or right answers, or anything like that, or what you think I want you to say. Just share your thoughts freely. So those initial responses, you'll get 6 points for those. So relevant, meaningful, original annotations in all 3 articles by that deadline. So 6 points. You can just consider 2 points for each article. And then your responses, that's where the majority of the points are for this discussion this week. By the end of the day, Sunday, you should have replied to at least 3 other students for each article. In other words, you'll have your original annotations for each of the 3 articles, and you'll have at least 9 total replies to other students. So 3 per article. That's where this 9 is coming from. So if you just have 1 response that's relevant and meaningful, you would get a 1 out of 9 here. So just to give you an idea. But I think that pretty much explains everything for this week. If you have questions or are having any issues with hypothesis, please reach out. Do try to get started on this earlier in the week so that you don't run out of time, and so you can receive full credit for this assignment. So I'm looking forward to hearing your thoughts, and yeah, just collaborating online.